Welcome back to Lockerblogger. I'm Frank Isola. We're happy to be joined by Charles Oakley, who during his playing days with the Raptors, Bulls, and of course the New York Knicks was known as one of the top rebounders in the league. Of course, an enforcer. It's always good to catch up on him to talk about the league. And Charles, we're about midway through the NBA season. The Lakers still appear to be the class of the league. Is that the team that you have winning the NBA title again?
They always, when you're winning something, I think you're always a front runner the following year. You know, the big challenge of it, run attack, additional. He's smart as a team and got the best coach in the game, Phil Jackson. So, and he got the best player and one of the best spokesmen. So they are still the front runners, and you got to lean anyway unless the East Coast get better down the stretch.
You know, when you think about a team that might be able to beat them, the one that jumps to mind is Boston, which 2 years ago did beat the Lakers in the finals. But when you think about this team, they've had so many injuries. Do you think they're just getting a little too old to be able to beat the Lakers at this point?
Well, you're never too old once you got a solid foundation to understand it, especially in the playoffs. You know how to play together. And once you've been there, and you can figure out some things on the court. But I think that watching Cleveland or Christmas holiday playing to play the Lakers, I think the Cleveland showed they can run the Lakers, and they ain't had to depend on LeBron to hit 40 points to beat the Lakers, and that was a plus. The team played well.
How do you think that Shaquille O'Neal has fit in thus far with LeBron? Because clearly they made that move to win now. How do you think it's worked out so far?
Right. Oh, no question they made the move to win now. I think that he played well. He played well on the West Coast trip, and he's been playing well since that whole West Coast right before Christmas and come back to East Coast. They beat Atlanta back-to-back. They went on the road. They beat Houston, but they just lost to Cleveland. But they've been playing well. I think they're really getting together, and it's how you play late in in March and April, going towards the playoffs.
You know, we're talking to Charles Oakley, who happens to be from Cleveland, still owns a home there. And Charles, so much has been going on, so much talked about LeBron James and his future. I'm sure there's a part of you that would like to see him stay in the home state of Ohio and in Cleveland. What do you think he's going to do this summer?
I don't know. He signed a deal. He got the options in his favor. At first I said he wasn't going to leave, but it's up in the air. I think that Shaq on there maybe for 1 year, and I don't see him leaving who they couldn't play Shaq with to be a big man in the middle. So I think that the door is wide open. It's cool how they play down the stretch and they make it to the finals. And if not, he's going to have a lot of, thinking to do and, going somewhere. And when you move into another team and you say everything your way in one place, and when you move, a lot of stuff comes with it. It ain't just easy you think it is because you sign a big, $100 million contract and you're the main man. A place like New York, it's not about the money. The fans and the people who understand basketball, you got to do that on a regular basis, the press, and it's a whole different ball game. In some other cities, it might not be like that. You go to Chicago, Miami, whoever he might go. Well, I think the toughest place for him to go is New York. But hey, he's a great player. He can make it happen.
Hey, Charles, one of the hottest stories right now in the NBA, unfortunately, is what's going on with Washington and Gilbert Arenas. Met with prosecutors recently to talk about bringing unloaded guns into the locker room. It's really a troubling story. I was wondering what your take was on the whole situation.
I really, I heard about it 6 weeks ago, and right now, I've really been keeping up with it. Things happen, and, this NBA, NFL, Tiger Woods, wherever, you have to deal with the situation when it comes. I think David Stern, he might be one of the best guys I know who deal with situations, especially in the NBA. When I play, they change all the rules about flagging fouls and this and that, and change all the stuff about technically get suspended. So I think he being suspended a line test. So he'd come up with something, and hopefully, guys will learn. But haven't learned from the past, so things can happen. It's just how it happened.
It's interesting. Everyone knows that the players on these charter planes, as a way to keep themselves busy, will play cards. General managers, coaches, trainers will play cards with the players. You're already hearing people say that they wonder if the league will outlaw that and tell teams they shouldn't do that. Don't you think that would be maybe not be the right thing, considering it's a way for you guys to kind of release some of the pressure, and it's been going on not just with the players, but also management people as well have played with the players.
Stuff is right. I mean, things will happen no matter what you do. If you limit that, something else is going to happen. So you just got to make sure it don't get wild, whatever you do in life, I think they charter these flights for the guys to be comfortable and have a good time and don't have to go to the airport and get housed by the fans and other people. But my thing is, it's part of your job. Whatever you do, you got to be professional. And I think that when we used to play ball, we always said when we used to play, younger guys don't like to hear that, but it is what it is. But we have to go to the airports and all of the fans and people want autographs, and now they got to charter flights. They got it like gravy right now, and they don't want to. When you get something like this, you always want to keep this. You don't want to get back and go to the airports and checking the customs and getting your own bags. So, they cut that out. That's a whole different story. But, I don't think they're going to cut that luxury out because there's too many guys in the league. They ain't got comfortable with it. The management teams have got comfortable with it. But the decision is going to come about, and I think David Stern's going to do the right thing, and, you got to live with it.
Most people know of Charles Oakley grabbing rebounds. We know that he could be mean on the court. He also could be pretty mean in the kitchen. Cooking has always been something that has interested you, Charles. Talk about that a little bit, because I know you still have a lot of things going on in the kitchen now that your playing career is over.
Right. Well, it's just something I think that in the past, like, when I first got to the league, traveling in Chicago, and my thing is I was like, okay, I can't go out every night. It's cold weather. I practice, come home, want to sit back and eat a good meal. So I just started preparing meals and got good and just kept doing it. And, once I got good, I started inviting my teammates over, and they started liking it. I started inviting other people over, and so everybody saying, you cook pretty good. And, my mom, family, I cook for them many times, but, it's just something to lay back. I think it's something you can show somebody else. You can do other things in life, and I think it's really relaxing, and, I'm just glad I was able to do it and took my time and effort to put time into it and do it. A lot of people say it's hard, but it's just, like I said, it's like anything else. If you want to be good at something, you got to put time into it.
Well, we know that golf is another passion of yours. How's your golf game these days?
Golf game, I'm trying to get it together now for the tournament in Bahamas in about 2 weeks. Big tournament we go to every year, and then we go to another one in Tampa. For another great athlete in New York, and just trying to go there and trying to embarrass myself and maybe hit the ball down the middle a couple of times.
All right, Charles. Well, I want to. Hopefully, we'll see you back in the NBA soon. You should be on somebody's bench because you'd make a terrific assistant coach, especially working with a lot of these big men, right?
Well, I'm gonna try to. Hopefully, I'm gonna get to New York. That's my first chance to do something with them, but not. I had other offers. I think that men around the league, the coaches know, players know. That's one thing when you're in this league, this many caliber players and coaches, they know who know what, and they know who understand. They know who can get other people to get better and bring something to the table. And that's what I try to do when I play ball: make other guys better, be a leader, show them that I know the game in and out. And now when the time to come for me to be on a team with a team to coach and have the credibility that other players respecting me and for learning, listen, and when I'm trying to teach them how to play the game the right way or whatever. And I think this was one a lot of coaches in the league. They don't have the guys' attention. They don't respect the coaches. And they got a lot of coaches in the league never played the league. So I think attention span is real short for guys to look at you like you're a coach, but I don't see no credit. I see your resume, but don't say you played basketball and you was an assistant coach here and there. You might get a job, but they didn't get a job because you came up through NBA. You get a job because somebody said he's a good college coach or he's a good coach, give him a chance. So my thing is you need somebody on the bench who can relate to these players, and I think teams will be a lot more better. You won't have all these bad teams in the league.
Well, I think you definitely deserve to be on somebody's bench. And Charles, thanks for joining us on Lockerblogger, and good luck in the kitchen and good luck on the golf course, okay?
All right, thank you. No problem.
Thanks.